In 2023, General Motors quietly sold the driving data of 4.6 million customers to insurance companies. None of them consented. Most still do not know it happened. You turned off location sharing on your phone. Your car has been sharing it anyway. Today, we are going inside the 6 data streams your connected vehicle is transmitting right now. We are going to name the companies buying that data. We are going to read you the exact contract language that made it legal. And at the end, we are going to give you the vehicles that are completely outside every one of these pipelines permanently. Every data point in this video comes from FTC complaints, State Attorney General investigations, and the automaker's own terms of service documents. This is not speculation. This is their paperwork. What your car is collecting right now. Modern connected vehicles collect data across 6 distinct streams. Let us go through each one. Stream 1. Location. Every connected vehicle with an active telematics subscription transmits GPS coordinates continuously while the engine runs, not occasionally, continuously. Ford's Connected Services Agreement, active on all 2020 and newer F-150 models with Ford Pass enabled, states the company may collect precise geolocation data and retain it for purposes including analytics and product improvement. That phrase, analytics and product improvement, is the legal container for everything that follows. Stream 2. Speed and braking behavior. Your vehicle's onboard telematics module records speed, hard braking events, rapid acceleration, and cornering forces. This data stream is the one most directly connected to your insurance rate. It is also the one that requires 0 notification to share with third parties under most current connected services agreements. Stream 3. The cabin microphone. Every vehicle equipped with a voice-activated assistant, which includes every major truck and SUV sold in America since 2018, has at least one always-on microphone inside the cabin. Ford's Sync 4 system, GM's voice recognition through OnStar, Ram's Uconnect voice assistant. The microphone activates on a wake word, but the hardware is always powered. And the terms of service for most of these systems permit the collection of voice interaction data for, quote, service improvement purposes. Stream 4. The driver-facing camera. As covered in our episode on Section 24220, Volvo's 2024 XC90 already uses a driver-facing camera for impairment monitoring. GM's Super Cruise system uses one for hands-free driving activation. Both systems collect driver attention data. Both retain it under connected services agreements. Neither agreement specifies a deletion timeline. Stream 5. Your smartphone app. Ford Pass, My Chevrolet, Ram's Uconnect app. Every one of these requires permissions on your phone that extend beyond the vehicle, including, in most cases, your own phone's location data, your contact list, and your usage patterns. You connected your phone to your car connected your phone to its data pipeline. Stream 6. Third-party integration. This is the one buried deepest in the fine print. Most connected services agreements include a clause permitting data sharing with, quote, select third-party partners for purposes including but not limited to analytics, marketing, and risk assessment. Risk assessment. That is insurance company language inside an automaker's terms of service. Collecting this data is one thing. What they do with it next is something else entirely. In 2023, the New York Times and journalist Kashmir Hill published an investigation into how General Motors was sharing OnStar customer driving data with 2 data brokers, LexisNexis Risk Solutions and Verisk Analytics. Both companies supply data directly to insurance carriers. Here is how the pipeline worked. GM enrolled customers in a program called Smart Driver through the OnStar app. The enrollment process was embedded inside routine app updates. Many customers activated it without realizing they had opted in. Once enrolled, Smart Driver transmitted detailed trip-by-trip driving behavior data, speed, braking, acceleration, mileage, directly to LexisNexis and Verisk. Those companies packaged the data into driving behavior profiles. Those profiles were sold to insurance carriers. Insurance carriers used those profiles to adjust customer premiums, often without notifying the customer that their driving data had been the basis for the rate change. 4.6 million customers. Multiple state attorneys general opened investigations. The FTC issued a formal inquiry to 8 major automakers in 2023, specifically about connected vehicle data practices. GM has since modified the Smart Driver enrollment process, but LexisNexis and Verisk still operate. The insurance carriers that received the data still have it. And the clause in your connected services agreement that permitted this sharing has not been removed. GM is not the only one doing this. Ford's privacy policy permits sharing location and driving behavior data with, quote, business partners, service providers, and other third parties. Toyota's connected services agreement includes similar language. Stellantis, the parent company of Ram, Dodge, Jeep, and Chrysler, reserves the right to share data with, quote, affiliates and third-party service providers globally. Your data has no borders. But the data pipeline is only part of the story, because insurance companies are not the only buyers at the table. Before we get to who else is buying your data, drop a comment right now. Did your insurance rate go up in the last 2 years without an accident or ticket? Tell us what you drive and what year it is. We are building a data set from this comment section, and we want your vehicle in it. In 2023, a story circulated in tech and privacy communities that has never been fully verified, but has never been fully denied either. A man complained about back pain to a passenger while driving his connected vehicle. 2 days later, he received a targeted digital advertisement for a back surgeon. Whether or not that specific event happened exactly that way, the technical infrastructure for it to happen is real and active. Automaker terms of service that permit cabin audio collection for service improvement create a legal pathway for voice data to enter advertising targeting pipelines. Now let us talk about law enforcement. In 2022, Senator Edward Markey of Massachusetts sent letters to 14 major automakers asking how many law enforcement requests for customer driving data they had received. 12 of the 14 confirmed they had complied with law enforcement requests for connected vehicle data. 8 of those 12 confirmed they had provided data without a court order in response to emergency requests or informal inquiries. Your phone requires a warrant in most cases. Your car does not. And the data does not expire. Ford's privacy policy does not specify a maximum retention period for location data. GM's OnStar agreement states data may be retained for, quote, as long as necessary to fulfill the purposes described in this policy. As long as necessary. That is a retention period with no end date. Your driving history from 5 years ago is still in a database somewhere. The trip you took last Tuesday is already there too. Now, here's the part your dealer will never tell you. There's an entire class of vehicle that is permanently outside every one of these pipelines, and the ones worth owning are still available at reasonable prices right now. Connected vehicle data collection requires 3 things: an active telematics module, a connected services subscription, and a cellular or Wi-Fi pathway to transmit. Vehicles built before the connected services era have none of these. No module, no subscription pathway, no transmission. Not because the manufacturer chose to protect your privacy, because the hardware does not exist. Here's your list. The 1996 to 2004 Ford F-150 with the 4.6 or 5.4 Triton V8. Pre-Ford Pass, pre-Sync 4, pre-telematics module. Physical gauges, manual HVAC controls, a radio that receives signals, it does not transmit them. The 1999 to 2006 Chevy Silverado and GM Sierra with the 5.3 Vortec. Pre-OnStar integration in the base models, pre-My Chevrolet app dependency, pre-connected services requirement for basic features. The 1998 to 2002 Toyota Tacoma and 4Runner with the 3.4-liter 5VZFE V6. Toyota did not fully integrate connected services into these platforms. No cabin microphone mandate, no driver-facing camera, no telematics module transmitting to a data broker. The 1998 to 2002 Dodge Ram 2500 with the 24-valve Cummins 5.9 diesel. Pre-Uconnect, pre-Stellantis data sharing agreement, a truck that reports to no one. One buying tip before you shop. When inspecting any used vehicle, ask the seller to show you the infotainment system. If it has a SIM card slot, visible as a small tray near the USB ports or behind the screen, the vehicle has or had cellular transmission capability. Walk away or negotiate knowing exactly what you're getting. If the radio has a CD player, physical tuning knobs, and no touchscreen, you're looking at a vehicle built before the surveillance era. That is not a disadvantage. That is the point. Here's the verdict. Your connected vehicle is a data collection device that also provides transportation. 4.6 million GM customers learned that in 2023, after the data had already been sold, the profiles had already been built, and the insurance rates had already been adjusted. Ford, Toyota, and Stellantis are operating under the same framework. The FTC has asked questions. The attorneys general have opened investigations. Nothing has been deleted. The vehicles on today's list were built before any of this infrastructure existed. They do not transmit because they cannot transmit. That is the only privacy guarantee that cannot be changed in a terms of service update. You stopped trusting your phone years ago. It's time to apply the same standard to what you park in your driveway. Here's your question for the comments. Did you know your connected vehicle was transmitting this data before watching this video? And what year is your current daily driver? Drop it below. Tag someone who needs to hear this before they activate their next connected services trial. The next episode goes inside the brake job they're designing you out of. New trucks already have proprietary software requirements for brake pad replacement. No dealer laptop, the system throws a fault code and your ABS behaves unpredictably. That episode drops in 7 days. Subscribe now. You won't want to be mid-brake job when you find out. Hold the line. Stay analog. Keep turning your own wrenches. We'll see you in the next one.